mom sent me a cease and desist because I shared a screenshot of a text that she sent me on TikTok, so we're gonna get ready together and talk about it. I have honestly prolonged making this video because I wasn't really sure where to start. I honestly could go back years and years. I'm not gonna say I've always had this like god-awful relationship with my mom because that's not the case. However, I do firmly believe that the years that our relationship was decent was solely because I would just comply. I had no backbone, no boundaries. I never stood up for myself. And I don't know, call me crazy, but I do find it quite coincidental, perhaps, that the second I started standing up for myself, setting boundaries in place, not just letting her like say or do whatever she wanted, we had a falling out. Just a quick foreshadow because this is important. I have been no contact with my mom since April 7th of 2025. So we are creeping up on almost 1 year of being no contact. Things between my mom and I really shifted the night that I got engaged. When my husband proposed, it was just him and I. So I remember getting engaged, going to dinner with him, and then meeting up with my mom and dad and the rest of my family in my parents' room to celebrate the engagement. I will never forget the feeling of being on cloud nine after getting engaged and being there with my family to celebrate. And when we were all in the room, my mom literally called me a brat and told me that I ruined my engagement. And ladies, if you know, you know. I'm gonna be honest, I was quite inquisitive leading up to what I thought was gonna be the engagement, just because I wanted to make sure my nails were done, my hair was done, that I love my outfit. Like, if you know what the heck I'm talking about. So apparently in my mom's mind, because I was being so inquisitive, that was me being a brat and ruining my engagement, which like, okay, whatever, go off queen. She's always had this way of like stealing the joy and happiness out of moments. My husband and I already knew that we were going to get engaged and married, so we had previously talked about where we wanted to get married, and we decided on Greece. That's like our dream wedding. So right after getting engaged and announcing that we were gonna have the wedding in Greece, everything freaking changed. Just for context, we got engaged November 15th, 2024, and less than 2 weeks later at Thanksgiving, then again at Christmas, then multiple times after and between, you name it. Any opportunity my mom got to trash talk Greece, she freaking took it, okay? This woman was saying just such vile things like, Greece is nasty, nobody's gonna go to your wedding, your dad's not gonna go to your wedding, your siblings can't afford to go to your wedding, why Greece? Like, God, what is it that you have against Greece? Like, mind you, this woman has never been before, but like, I'm so sorry. Is this my wedding? Oh, okay. In my mind, these comments were incredibly unnecessary, uncalled for, and honestly, like super hurtful. Fast forward to the beginning of February, my husband, my best friend, and I, we had a trip planned back to my hometown to celebrate my sibling's birthday, and we stayed just for the weekend. And I remember I was just so stressed and anxious leading up to this trip because I knew that there was gonna have to be a conversation had between me and my mom. Like, I was holding on to this like resentment and I needed to get it off my chest. I could not handle her being so nasty and negative about this anymore. I just wasn't sure what the conversation was gonna look like or how it was gonna come up. Well, she took care of that for me because I remember being in the kitchen at my mom's house and my sister was on my right, my best friend was on my left, and my mom had made some comment about the wedding. I don't even remember at this point what it was, but I kind of like put my foot down and was standing my ground. And out of nowhere, this woman looks at me and goes, "Fine, be a bitch then." And when I tell you, I saw fucking red. Like, I'm thinking like, there's no way this grown ass woman at her big age of 60 just spoke to me that way. When I tell you, I lost my shit. I lost my ever loving shit. I will say it now. I am not proud of the way that I spoke to my mom. I am not a disrespectful person. It's very clear to me that I've been hurting for a long time and had things that I needed to communicate with her. And to be frank, I did a really poor job of communicating maturely and effectively, and I take full accountability for that. Back to the point, I lost my fucking shit. Like, I was literally like yelling and screaming at this woman. I was asking her why she's so mean and hateful and hurtful. I was asking her, like, if you don't want to go to Greece, then where do you want me to have my wedding? Like, tell me, if you don't want to go to Greece, if Greece is not acceptable for you, where do you want me to have my wedding then? Where will you go? If you won't go to Greece, where will you go? She could not give me an answer, would not give me an answer. At this point, I don't exactly remember every little detail of that conversation, considering it was almost a year ago. However, I remember giving her very, very specific details of instances where her actions or words, the thing that she was saying to me, were just absolutely unacceptable and hurtful. And if you've ever dealt with a narcissist, you know, if I had a fucking dollar for every time I heard this shit, I'd be rich as fuck. But I got the typical, I never said that. That never happened. I don't remember that. And like, that just fucking sent me into more of a spiral. I just got that typical like victim bullshit. She completely flipped the script on me and was like, sorry, I'm such a bad mom, which I remember talking to my sister after though, and my sister seems to remember that I low-key did say she was a bad mom, which again, I don't remember that, but whoops. Please don't kill me. I'm running out of time, so come back for part 2. This is the part 2 story time of why my mom sent me a cease and desist. So because she played the victim and made me feel guilty for expressing how her actions and behaviors made me feel, when my husband and I left their house to drive back home, we live about 3 hours away from them, I got in the car and immediately started crying and feeling so guilty. I sent her a text message just basically apologizing for anything that I said if it came across as disrespectful. She's my mom and I never want to be disrespectful to her. It was just clear that I had a lot of like big feelings that had been looming for a long time and I was having a difficult time communicating those with her. She basically replied and said, you know, sorry, she's such a bad mom and makes me feel like less than or something like that, and that she'll work on being more aware of like other people's feelings and some other shit. I'll insert a screenshot of the text. So we basically made amends, and that was very short-lived because if you can do math, beginning of February to beginning of April 7th, which is when I went no contact with her, nothing really changed. Fast forward to April, her and I had like regular contact in the meantime. I had something like really scary and kind of traumatic, honestly, financially happen, and I just called my mom for some reassurance, perhaps. I don't know, sue me, but I feel like you should be able to call your mom and her just say like, it's gonna be okay, everything's gonna work itself out. Not my mom. Because she is the person that she is, when I called her to share something extremely vulnerable with her, she used that as the perfect opportunity to, I guess, tell me what she thought about me as a person. She's always kind of had a way of kicking people when they're down. I don't know if it makes her feel good or what. She took that as an opportunity to tell me that I don't have my priorities in line, that I'm not running my business correctly, which, just FYI, I have been a small business owner for about 6 years, and I will be the first person to tell you, I am not perfect. I am flying by the seat of my pants. I'm figuring things out day by day. I learn something new every single day. But I can assure you, I do my absolute best, and when I do make mistakes, I learn from them and don't make them again. She then proceeds to tell me that I need to trade in therapy for a relationship with Jesus, which, just by the fucking way, the two can coexist, number one. And number two, don't concern yourself with my relationship with Jesus. You need to be more worried about your relationship with Jesus, homegirl. She only said that because back in February, I remember telling her that she was one of the big reasons I was in therapy. Like, I would go to therapy and fucking cry. Like, I would just cry because she's so mean and hurtful at times. That was her way of using that against me. And she also told me that my therapist is a liberal and just tells me what I want to hear, which, like, what an odd thing to say. And also, just a side note, yes, I do work on things from my childhood with my mom in therapy, but like, unbeknownst to her, I work on so many other things in therapy. I'm working on things in therapy that my mom has literally no clue that have even happened to me. I have been through two of the probably most traumatic things that a woman could go through, and she doesn't even know about that because it's not safe. She's not a safe person to share certain things with because she'll turn it around and use it against you. As you can imagine, that just pissed me off and like really hurt my feelings because I'm like, how dare you? Like, how dare you say that to me? You don't know what I'm even doing in therapy, so goodbye. She also told me that I treat my husband like shit, which is such an insane thing to say. I asked her to give me an example, and one of the examples she gave me was one time her and I were on FaceTime, and my husband, we were sitting at the dining room table. He was eating something out of a bowl, I don't remember, but he was clanking his spoon against his bowl so loud, and I looked over at him and I was like, if you clank your spoon against your bowl one more time, like, I'm literally gonna have a full-blown crash out. Anyway, apparently that was her thinking I treat my husband like shit, which, like, no, I don't. I worship the ground that man walks on, okay? She also told me that I am not like her. I'm not like her other kids, that working in the beauty industry has changed me, which I could go on a 4-hour rant about that. Working in the beauty industry has changed me. It has given me access to a lot of things, but more than anything, I think that it has propelled me into being the woman of my own dreams. And what I also find very odd and bizarre is that everything that I do, anything I've ever had access to that I started doing, such as Botox, lip filler, lash extensions, GLP-1s, laser treatments, lip filler, everything I have ever done to my body, this woman follows suit, okay? Alyssa starts a GLP-1, she starts a GLP-1. Alyssa gets lip filler and Botox, she gets lip filler and Botox. Alyssa's doing facials and laser treatments regularly, she's doing facials and laser treatments regularly. Alyssa gets lashes, Alyssa does lashes, she starts coming to me for lashes. Like, are you just mad that I have access to more things than you, or weird? As you can imagine, because my own mother basically just told me that she kind of hates everything about me, I was ugly crying to the fullest degree, and I was on the way to work. Like, I had a full day of clients this day. I remember getting to work, and she, before hanging up the phone, tells me, don't let this ruin your day, which I'm like, huh? How can my mom telling me that I'm a failure and like a piece of shit not ruin my day? Like, be so fucking for real, girl. I tried to like compose myself, get my shit together, and that didn't work well. Like, I cried through my whole first client's appointment and probably honestly through the majority of the day at that point. And it was that day, it was April 7th, 2025, that I just really reflected and was like, you know what, Alyssa, like, you have been in this position too many times, and I decided in that moment, like, you will never allow her the power to make you feel like this ever again. And I went no contact. Sorry, I know this is long, but go to part 3. This is the part 3 story time of why my mom sent me a cease and desist. So at that point, there was really no contact. I never felt the need to announce to her or tell her that I was going no contact, because That wasn't a decision for her. That was a decision for me to protect myself and my mental health and my emotions. Fast forward to Mother's Day, I was still really struggling with my decision to go no contact. I never reached out by text or call on Mother's Day. However, I did put a card in the mail and sent her a card. It got there like a couple days late, but like I said, I was struggling with my decision, and I wanted to make sure at the end of the day that like in 20 years, I did everything and I have no regrets. I remember later in the day on Mother's Day, mind you, I had removed my mom from all of my social media at this point. Well, I apparently got dumb bitch syndrome that day because I had asked my husband like, hey, do you still have my mom on social media? To which he was like, oh yeah, I do. And I looked at her page, and I'll post a screenshot of her lovely Mother's Day post. But she basically, I guess she had done like a voluntary back surgery and was in the hospital a little longer than she had anticipated. But she did not fail to let all of her Facebook friends know that after being released from the hospital, she just had the most wonderful Mother's Day ever. It was amazing, great, beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, all the things. And proceeded to tag my brother, my sister, my brother-in-law, and my dad. Completely left me out of it. Yeah, to announce to Facebook that her day was just so perfect. She couldn't have imagined a better Mother's Day, and one of her kids was missing. Like, girl, everybody on your Facebook knows that you have 3 kids. Like, how bold of you to share something like that on social media. Like, okay. After seeing that, like, that honestly wrecked me because I was like, well, damn, if your life is so perfect without me, like, I don't even want to be here. After that, I just kind of decided like I have to completely remove myself. So at that time, I was on like my family's business's phone plan. I was paying my portion of the bill. It was just auto drafting from my account, but it was just cheaper to be on that account, as well as the same case with my car insurance. I was on like the family plan. My portion just auto withdrawed from my account every month. And I was like, I got to get off this. So I'd reached out to get removed from Verizon, and my mom just sent me like the nastiest, most psychotic text messages. I'll include a screenshot of those as well. And shortly after that, I realized that my mom removed me from the health insurance, which that's totally fine. Like, I'm 32 years old. I was 31 at the time. I'm an adult and I can take responsibility for my own health insurance. But to take me off and not tell me, my husband was like, okay, yeah, that's enough. Like, we're completely done. Fast forward to July. My sister had her gender reveal party on July 4th. I decided that I wanted to be there for her and support her, and the party was at my mom's house. I had really done a lot of work in therapy to try to like prepare myself, and I decided that it was best to solely go for the gender reveal itself, not like the part where everybody's like kind of mingling and eating and all the things, right? My husband and I drove over the 3 hours just towards the end of the party when they were revealing the gender. My husband and I already had a game plan as far as how long we were gonna stay. It was just an in and out. I literally was there to be there for my sister and support her. There was like tons of friends and family there, and what do you know? My mom's just acting like nothing happened, like trying to chit chat with me. I even remember her like crying at one point, and I was just honestly in such a state of like disgust because, again, if you've ever dealt with like somebody who has narcissistic like tendencies, this is just so on par for her behavior. Like, it's such a show. You're not getting an award for this performance, so knock it off. And I just like set a hard boundary and was like, this isn't appropriate, that kind of thing. Not to my surprise at all, I did not hear from her after the gender reveal party. Like, why are you crying? Is it because you know that you fucked up and I'm not letting you just brush this under the rug? But whatever. Anyway, find out I'm having a niece. Love that for us. We end up kind of like getting out of there after an hour and make the 3-hour trek home. A couple weeks later, the end of July, I FaceTimed my grandmother and say that I'm going wedding dress shopping. Here are the dates. I've already made arrangements for you to get from your town to my town, back to your town. I'd love for you to be there. and the first words out of this woman's mouth are, "You're really doing this, huh?" I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like, am I getting punked right now? What do you mean I'm really doing this? Like, getting married? Yeah, I am fucking getting married. She's like, why Greece? And I just fucking lost it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I don't know what the deal is with you guys in Greece. At that point, it was very clear to me that my mom had been in her ear manipulating her. I'm like, y'all are all so fucking delusional. Like, are you okay? That conversation did not go well. She said a number of psychotic things to me about how she thinks my therapist needs to be knocked upside of the head, and how I might think I've turned into a better person, but she thinks I've turned into a worse person. She also played the Christianity card, which, like, in my family specifically, that is so fucking played out. Like, you don't get to treat people like shit and call yourself a Christian. Like, that just doesn't fucking work for me. I've been around that my whole life and it's disgusting. I very promptly ended the conversation with her. Then I sent her a text message uninviting her for my appointment. At that point, I already had a little bit of a community on TikTok. So I was on a live one night and just expressing to some of my TikTok girls like how the conversation went between my grandmother and I. Well, apparently my family has a spy, because someone either saw my live or something and reported it back to my mom that I was discussing my conversation with my grandmother. I think it was August 22nd. I received a text message from my mom stating that her, my immediate family, and my extended family are all very disappointed in me. She was recently made aware of a TikTok live stream where I was cursing my grandmother. She said my younger self would be like disgusted with the person that I am now. She said that her and the rest of my family, they're choosing to no longer associate with me, which, like, I haven't associated with you since April of last year. So how you can disassociate from somebody that already doesn't associate with you, that's crazy. She proceeds to say in the text message that I'm no longer welcome at their home. I'm not welcome at my sister's baby shower, as well as I need to find somewhere else to spend the holidays. I don't know. I have the whole text like pinned on my TikTok if you want to go read it. When I received that, I immediately blocked her, because you are absolutely out of your ever-loving mind if you think that the absolute last means of access that you have to me is my phone number and you're gonna send me that? No. Access denied, because that's a fuck no from me. That's a swift fuck no. So I blocked her number. I spent really like 2 good months, like heavily in therapy, working through all of that. Last one, I promise, go to part 4. This is the 4th and final part to why my mom sent me a cease and desist. I do just want to add that when I went no contact with my mom back in April of last year, I had started sharing bits and pieces of that journey on TikTok. And I have built quite the community of women and men who have experienced very similar things with their families. And while part of me finds comfort knowing that I'm not alone in this, I'm not the only one going through this, it absolutely breaks my heart that so many people experience this. It is honestly overwhelming, the number of people that have either left comments or sent me messages pouring their hearts out, telling me stories of their experiences with their family members. Absolutely no one should have to go through this. Anyway, I shared the screenshot of her text message sometime in October, and it went viral, like 6.4 million views viral. So obviously my mom caught wind of it, which was fine. At that point, she took it upon herself to hire an attorney and send me a cease and desist, threatening to sue me for defamation, both libel and slander, something about cyber stalking or cyber harassment or something like that, something else about advantageous relationships, like all kinds of things, right? She was threatening to sue me for those things if I didn't comply with her demands, which included removing that post, along with any other post that had any mention of her or any other family members of mine. She wanted me to retract my statement, which I don't even know how I could retract a text that she sent me, but like, go off, queen. She demanded that I do not reach out to herself or any of my other family members, which, like, girl, I don't reach out to you. I haven't reached out to you. You would have to send me a cease and desist to force me to reach out to you. There was a few other demands, and they were giving me 5 business days or something to comply. Needless to say, I immediately hired an attorney and did not comply. As a matter of fact, I spoke to several attorneys, and when I gave them all of the information, screenshots, timelines, like literally everything, every single one of them just gave a little chuckle. Quite simply because it is not illegal for me to share my story or my lived experiences. If you are comfortable behaving in a way behind closed doors, make sure you keep that same energy when your behavior gets brought to light. It's not anybody's responsibility or burden to bear to keep your poor behavior a secret. With that being said, I did not spend Thanksgiving or Christmas with my family per her request. I didn't even get so much as a happy birthday wish from her. My husband and I are planning our absolute dream wedding in Greece this September. I will be walking myself down the aisle. I will not have a single family member there, and at this point, I think I've made peace with that. I just hope that at no point they have any regrets. And the craziest thing about all of this is I remember last year being in the absolute thick of what's going on, and I would just cry in therapy. Like, I would cry. And I very specifically remember asking my therapist, if people in my situation, do we ever feel happy? Like, do we ever get to experience happiness? And my therapist, I'll never forget this, she said, yes. She said, your mom is living rent-free in your head right now, which she was. She said, but as time goes by, you will think about her less and less and less. And at some point, a birthday of hers will pass and you won't even realize it until a few days or weeks later. And while I'm not to that point yet, she's no longer living rent-free in my head. And I can genuinely say that I am truly happy. Like, I have found happiness in this lifetime. I have the most wonderful husband and a beautiful life, despite my mom making everybody in my hometown, family included, think that I'm living some like rebellious life over here. So this is just your friendly reminder, family or not, you do not have to tolerate shitty behavior from anybody.
I was just in the bath and I was just like, story time about when I faked my death to my mom because we got into a huge fight. So pretty much I was a dramatic ass motherfucker as a child, and why is it not coming out? So I don't know if it's just me, but I was a dramatic ass bitch at the time. I was 6, by the way. And I low-key still am dramatic as fuck. Wait, oh my god, wait, I'm scared. And so I just remember my mom and I getting into fights like hella, and this time I was not having it. I needed to like make her feel bad for me. And instead of being a normal child and just apologizing for like, I don't even know, doing whatever the hell I did, instead I decided I would fake my death. I'm scared, it's getting like really sticky. Okay. Bro, my hands are so sticky. So this is like getting really messy. But anyway, so first I was looking up ways to run away, but I was low-key scared at the time. I did end up doing that for a week, but that was when I was like 13. That's a story for another time. So yeah, I decided rather than running away, the next best option would probably be to fake my death. So since she was gone, I wanted to make it look like somebody broke in, and I literally just trashed the entire place. And when I mean trashed, I mean like literally fucking trashed. Like, I was doing the absolute most. Literally, I remember going into her closet, like throwing all her clothes all over the place, like her shoes, everything, her bags, like this is all luxury stuff, by the way. My mom's a baddie. I can't even. Oh my fucking lash. We're going without it. Anyway, my mom's a baddie. I can't even lie, which is why I broke away I did. But so she had a lot of like luxury purses, designer stuff, and I pretty much ruined half of that. Like, I just threw her shit all over the place. Like, I even went in the kitchen, I threw all the like food we had, everything, the chairs, the sofa. Literally, it was all, I don't even know. And then of course I made sure my room was like completely unscathed. Like, it was fine. I don't even know what I was thinking in my head. Anyway, being 6, I wasn't really like fully conscious at the time, so I didn't really know like when did she get back from work and what the time was. I don't know if I was just slow as a child or if that was everybody, but anyway, so I made that big old mess and I didn't know when she was gonna get back, but I just decided I was gonna start my bath because I took baths at this time, and I was gonna act like I drowned. So I literally just went in the bath and I had my little iPad and I was watching videos and I just was waiting for her. I don't know how long I waited, but I just waited for her to come back. And I was like, this is about to be so fucking good. I was like, you're gonna learn today, bitch. Like, you're gonna learn. Like, no, literally, I was my own parent. And now that I'm older, I think it's low-key funny because I still am on that level of petty. Like, I have not really changed. I don't know if that's for the best or the worst, but yeah. So what happened though, you guys, I literally fell asleep in the bathtub. I'm not too sure how much time went by until she came back, or how long I was in the bathtub. I think I just was so worn out from like causing a big ass mess and like crashing out that I literally just fell asleep, which I've never done before and I never did after that. It was so weird. But obviously my mom came home and I was just in the bath and I was just like, and she was literally like, is he? And I'm not gonna lie, I woke up immediately and my eyes were just open and then I just started laughing. Cause I can't be serious. Like, I don't know why in any situation I'm in, I literally cannot be serious. It's so bad. Like, I've gotten punished so many times for doing that. Anyway, I woke up and I was just like smiling at her. Like, I didn't really know what to say. And she was mad as fuck. And I was honestly just laughing my evil ass off because I was like, yeah, see, exactly, bitch. Like, now do you love me? But then I heard somebody on the phone, literally, I don't know what they were saying, but I heard another voice and I was like, who the fuck is that? And literally, because she thought somebody broke in, she had the whole ass police on the phone. And at this point, I knew I fucked up. But like at the same time, I was like, this is your fault. Like, don't even be mad at me, all this stuff. Like, I was definitely a gaslighter as a child. I don't even lie. Yeah, the police were trying to talk to her and she picked up the phone and she was like, never mind, don't send the police. Actually, maybe you should because I'm about to beat my child's ass. Just kidding, you guys. She never beat me. She never did anything like that. This is all alleged. This never happened. She didn't actually say that. But yeah, so she got off the phone and I was literally like, and I'll be so honest, I don't really remember what happened after that, but I'm sure we resolved things. Just the next time we fought, I did even crazier things to get revenge on her, which I shouldn't have done. But I have a lot of funny stories now from that. But I'm so sorry, Mom. I was just like a dramatic ass kid. I'm sorry. Also, here's a little mini slime I made. It's not that good. Comment what color. Hold on. Oh, wait, it's not. Oh. It's okay. We'll get better. We'll get better. But if I do another story time, comment what color you want me to make the slime. And also tell me if you guys want any more like crazy stories of things I did as an evil child. By the way, if you guys have any stories of your own that you want me to share, feel free to DM me them because I'll be so willing. And yeah, don't do what I did. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.
Okay, guys, it's story time. So tonight I went on a date and the date was planned out by this person. Everything was thought of to a T. Okay. So this person knew that I like seafood. So they were like, I want to take you to this nice seafood restaurant that is closer to you. I said, that's fine. So he was like, all right, well, after the seafood restaurant, I know you like sweets, so I want to take you to this homemade ice cream shop. I said, bet, even better. So I meet him at the restaurant and we get there. And of course, there's like a little bit of nerves, but then we have a couple icebreakers and then boom, conversation seamless. It's flowing, it's going, everything is wonderful, right? So the dinner, 9.3 out of 10. He's asking me questions that are intentional, especially if this person's trying to date and I'm, volleying it back to him and he's answering them what seems to be truthfully. And so then, after the dinner, that's good. Then we take a walk to the ice cream shop. So we pull up to the ice cream shop, right? Here is where the plot thickens. Here's mistake number one, right? So he goes, oh, what do you think you're going to get? I'm like looking, of course, I want to try different flavors because that's just me. So I tried a black raspberry one and an Oreo cheesecake one and a blood orange sorbet. So I ended up getting the black raspberry one. I was like, which one are you going to get? He's like, oh, you already know. I'm going to get the peanut butter cup one. Y'all, this man knows that I'm allergic. I'm talking deathly allergic to peanut butter. Why would you get that? So I said, oh, you're going to get that? And he was like, yeah. I said, I'm allergic. And he was like, oh, shit, I'm sorry. I completely forgot. In my mind, I'm like, that one's going to cost you. So I tell him, I was like, that's okay. As long as I don't ingest it, it's okay. And he's like, are you sure? I'm really sorry. I was like, you literally heard me say I have a peanut tree nut allergy at dinner. Are you listening? So here is honestly where the plot thickens. Okay, I gave you a little like appetizer, but this is really where the plot thickens. So we're sitting down, eating our ice cream, minding our business, and he says, all right, I got a question for you. And I was like, what's up? He said, so when was your last relationship? How long were you together? And when did it end? Now, I answered this question truthfully. I said my longest relationship was this, and I've been out of a relationship for about this long now. And yeah, it's been a while. Let's just say that. I asked him the same question. This man proceeds to tell me, oh, well, I just got out of a relationship last year. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, how long did it last? He tells me it lasted like a little over a year. And it was last year. He said, yeah. I said, well, when did it end? He says middle of December 2025. I said, December 2025? As in like last week? He was like, no, it's like 2025. Okay. And so I was like, so have you been talking to this person still? And he goes, well, I mean, she did reach out to me and ask me to proofread her book. I said, when did that happen? And he's like, oh, like last month. Now, mind you, okay, at this point, my body language is pretty telling. Now, I cannot fault this person because, you know, we're not together. We're not in a relationship. He's dating. I'm dating. It is what it is. But you're telling me that you're moving with intentionality. And you're telling me, you told me like in previous conversations that you wouldn't go back to exes. You're just talking to her last month. So then he proceeds to say, well, I mean, you know, like I told her that if she needed anything, she could call or text me. Call or text? Are we still buddies? Like, are we still pals? Like, what is this? So I was like, you literally left the door wide open. And he was like, no. I know what it looks like. And I know that's what it sounds like. But I promise you, like, that is not what I'm trying to do. Like, I told her we're done. I said, if you told her you're done and you parted amicably in December, you told her you were done, why is she still hitting you up? She's a female. I know she has other friends that she could talk to and converse with about whatever it is that she called you for. So, like I said, at this point, my body language is quite telling, and I'm just like honestly ready to go. Now, old Kai would have bounced, would have said, all right, thank you for your time. I'm going to go ahead and head out now. But new and improved and refined Kai, you know, I chose to stick it out, to be present, and to continue the date because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm dating, he's dating, so he has no bounding ties to me. You know what I'm saying? However, when you are presenting yourself as some stand-up guy, like, oh yeah, this is what I want, I'm intentional, like I want to do this, like I'm dating to marry, like I'm ready to settle down, but then you're doing shit like that, I'm just a little confused because you literally said y'all are over, but yet she's still calling. And then I said, well, if she was to call tomorrow, like, would you answer? And he says, well, yeah. I said, huh? Like, I thought y'all were done. So, like, what is the need to play catch up and have a picnic? Like, there's no need to do that. So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm like, you said you're over. So if she was to call, like, why are you answering the phone? Like, well, I would answer. He says, well, I would answer the phone to tell her that we're done. I'm gonna speed this up. Sorry, y'all. But at the end of the day, I was like, okay, well, you know, I had a great time with you. Like, he ended up walking me back to my car. I said, I had a great time with you. And he was like, I really want to see you again. But I'm thinking that after the ice cream time, I don't know if I have another chance. And I told him, I was like, well, you know, we'll see. That didn't really sit well with me. It is what it is, but, you know, we'll see. And I was like, I appreciate the time. You know, hope you make it home safely. Yada, yada, yada. Long story short, like, it was a great date, but at the end of the day, like, these men out here claiming that they want to be intentional, but you're still hanging on to old flames. Like, being intentional, if you've done the healing work, You've gone to therapy. You're really quite working on yourself, and you're moving as the man that you have prayed that you could be. Why are we still doing that? That doesn't look like growth to me. That is literally stuck in old ways. So let's just be real. You ain't trying to settle down in no time soon.
Okay, since we want to throw sneaky, actually not even sneaky dishes, since we want to be public about shit, let's be public, yeah? If you haven't watched my story time on my TikTok page, I got cheated on. I was in a 5-year relationship. Had him bring a bitch over to our shared apartment. I had to rehome our cats. I had to completely move out, and I had to completely flip my life around within a week. And then I slowly started finding things out. And then actually, while I was filming that video, my sister, we found the girl. Okay. When everything went down, I found the girl, texted her, and I was like, fuck you. And then she never answered. She saw my message, never answered. And I was like, okay, so she knew. So then I made these story times. While I'm making these story times, my sister comments on one of her TikToks. And yes, I do have screenshots. My sister commented, said, because this girl posts on her TikTok, oh, I have a man that loves me or whatever the fuck. And then my sister comments, because she's a homewrecker, says, oh, you're a homewrecking loser ass bitch. So happy for you. So then the girl messages my sister. Okay. She messages my sister, says, I'm confused. Who are you? And my sister says, girl, please, like you didn't know. Ask your boyfriend. And she's like, genuinely, I don't know who you are. What are you talking about? Whatever. When did they break up? I don't give a fuck. And my sister, the girl says, when did they break up? My sister says they literally broke up the 16th of February. She goes, do you have proof of this? And can you please delete your story? Because my sister posted about it. She says that she doesn't know, that she's shocked, and she doesn't know who I am. And then she was like, wait, because my sister gave me her cats because she moved to Japan. My ex and I said that we could take care of them. He said that he was okay with it because we were in our apartment. And then we all broke up and I ended up having to rehome them. Yes, I know it's sad. Please stop fucking commenting on it or I'm going to freak out. She then says, when did you drop the cats off? And then my sister says February 11th. And then she says that he told her, I thought she would take care of the cats while he was at work. So you knew about me. And you thought I was a fucking cat sitter? A cat sitter? Then my sister says, wait, when did you start talking? And did she messaged you on Insta? You never responded. And she says, I didn't have any message requests. I literally have the message. Literally says seen right there. Seen. And I sent it February 20th. Okay. And I'm only on here talking about this shit because this girl thinks it's cool to post about me. Number one, I didn't even see your post. Yeah. Only reason I saw it is because I called my friend to show her my new hair. And then she was like, what the fuck? Like, did you see what I saw? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? Because I'm not looking at your shit because you're not worth looking at. Like, you are genuinely insane. I haven't looked at your bullshit since I found out about you because I'm trying to move on from the situation. And in the screenshots that I'll get to, yeah, you said you were trying to move on from the situation too, but it seems to me like you're still with him. Did you tell him that you thought he was gay? Did you tell him that? Did you tell him that you have more self-respect than to date someone like him? Did you tell him that? Because, I will, actually, because he unblocked me on TikTok. He actually came up on my thing. So you thought that you could just fucking throw disses out as if you're not the homewrecker. You literally knew about me. I have fucking proof that you knew about me. Proof that I'm going to show. That I'm going to fucking show because I'm literally going insane. Like I said, I've been trying to move on from this situation, but your dumbass wants to bring shit online, so, hey, I've got the screenshots to prove my side. I'm pretty sure you don't have anything but a bum next to you. So, this girl wants to post, where is it? Right here, because I took a screenshot, because of course I did. It's a video of some fucking lyrics. I can't remember what it is. It's like about a man. I don't know. And then she says, except the man is a woman I've never met, stalking my entire social media presence just to harass me and call me ugly and a slut. So glad we're still blaming women in 2026. Being ugly on the inside is worse. Right, yeah, I would agree. Being ugly on the inside is worse, bitch. Then, in her caption, yeah, that's you. In the caption, it says, it's been a month and the harassment hasn't stopped. Safe to say I have a fan. Number one, never called you a bitch, Number one, never called you ugly, never called you a slut. What I did do is I reposted a video of a girl being like, what was the caption? It was like right here in the caption, it was like, when women say, I don't care that he has a girlfriend. And then the audio was, oh, so you're a slut. Oh, so you give it up like really easy. Did you resonate with that? Why are you going through my reposts? No, because how am I a fan if I didn't even know your bitch ass was posting about me, but yet you're going through my reposts? Maybe don't go through my reposts, number one. Number two, I've had multiple people fuck me over. Hey, believe it or not, this isn't my first time being cheated on. Believe it or not, this isn't the first time another woman has fucked me over. So yes, I'm gonna repost things. Was that TikTok about you? Who knows? But the fact that you took it and you thought that it was about you says more about you, babe, than it does about me. Also, blaming the women in the big 2025 big 2026 is crazy. You know what's also crazy in the big 2026? Being a fucking homewrecker and then lying about it. You told me. I have the messages, bitch. Like, I'm not fucking playing. You think that I'm a joke. Like, genuinely. You think I'm stupid. I texted you on Instagram. I said, if you genuinely... Bitch, I don't care if your shit's showing. Maybe don't be a horrible person. I don't know what to tell you. I said, if you genuinely didn't know about us, please call or text me. I would not ask him for any answers. He's a fucking liar. And you said that you didn't come to my house and that... She said, I didn't know if you'd like to tell me your side of the story. My side of the story? I said, has he told you anything? We literally just broke up right after Valentine's Day. And then... Sorry, She said, I was told you broke up in October. And then I was like, are you fucking with me? And she said, I'm sorry, that's what he said. And I said, I just celebrated his birthday with him and Valentine's Day. He literally had me sending him rings a week before this shit happened. We had a fucking planned engagement. Do you not feel fucking bad? You don't feel, neither of you, because I know you both are fucking watching this. Neither of you feel bad for the bullshit you just fucking put me through? Genuinely. No, because actually, you want to sit there and play victim, right? You want to sit there and play victim after you... Okay, I'm not mad at, like, the girl. I'm mad at her for being a bitch online. But, like, I'm not mad at her in, like, the situation. Because at the end of the day, yes, my ex owed me loyalty. But you're a woman. And you knew about me. And you still went ahead and did that shit. And then you fucking lie to me over messages. Make me think that, like, oh, you have self-respect. And that, you know, you're not going to talk to him anymore. And then I see a very specific photo in my comment section. Who is that? Who is that? That not you? Oh, okay. She then tells me, I'm beyond words, like, genuinely. We just went to Seattle in October. That's probably when they met, actually. And then I said, I literally have proof of us with his family for New Year's because I was with his fucking mother on New Year's. We literally just got back from San Diego and Fresno in January. And then she says, I'm sorry, I have to work in the morning and I'm super overwhelmed. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Why? So you can fucking message him and you guys can get your fucking story straight? God, I might be naive, but I'm not fucking dumb. Okay, to carry on to that, she literally lies to me. You both are liars. You both are fucking crazy, and you guys are both liars, and you both deserve each other, genuinely. She said that she had work in the morning, which is kind of weird. Like, if I found out that was the other woman, and the ex was, like, texting me, and I was, like, I literally would be like, oh my god, I am so sorry. Like, I genuinely didn't know all this stuff. I'll text you in the morning, I have to go to work. The fuck? But then she texts me. Yeah, she texts me. And I don't give a fuck. I'm putting everything in because I was trying to be the bigger person. I really tried. I was trying to be nice. I wasn't going to talk about this anymore. I haven't talked about it since I posted my videos. And bitch, for you, I don't care if you get offended with me calling you a bitch. You're a bitch. I have not looked at your page. I haven't looked at your fucking bullshit in weeks because I am genuinely trying to move on from this shit because guess what? You guys ruined my life. Like, genuinely. You fucking flipped my life upside down. And then you want to act like you're the victim because people are messaging you because I told them about your shitty actions. That's not my fault, nor is that there's people behind me. She texts me. She says that she's really sorry about the situation, right? I don't give a fuck. She says that based off of the way my sister approached her, she doesn't feel comfortable sharing information regarding her and Harrison's relationship. Okay, whatever. And then she says that she was never in my home. Okay, so then who was? You're okay with being a boyfriend who brought a bitch over to his shared apartment with his girlfriend and then came to yours and fucked you too? Like that, and then he just fucked me the week before. Like, it doesn't make any sense why you're cool with that. She then tells me that they started dating and got physical on February 18th, which is less than 48 hours after we broke up, which I'm sure you knew. And she told me to take down her photos and the usernames ASAP. People have been DMing her, and she can't stress enough this is something that she doesn't want to be a part of, right? And I said, I just have one question. Like, when did you guys start talking? Because I'm confused, right? Because, mind you, I'm coming fresh out of a relationship I was in since I was 17 years old. Like, literally a child, genuinely. For 5 years. Imagine, you're with someone for 5 years. You think you're gonna marry them, right? You have a fucking engagement plan. You have rings picked out. You have all this stuff going for you. You have an apartment. You have animals. You have all these things. And then, like, this all starts happening. I genuinely I feel so bad for my friends because I was in psychosis, genuinely, for 2 weeks. I, like, could not believe that he fucking did this to me. Anyway, she then tells me that they started talking early February, which you're an idiot because you contradicted yourself later on in the messages, which is probably why you deleted all of them. Right. Anyway, she said that they started talking beginning of February, and then they started flirting on his birthday, the night of his birthday. Who was he sleeping next to on his birthday? Me. He was sleeping next to me on his birthday, so you both are shitty for that. She says, I feel like if he had just... She says that if he had just been upfront and genuine, and she really did not think that this was like the situation, and she feels terrible, right? And then she says, I cannot even begin to imagine how you feel. I'm still waking up from this nightmare. Girl, fuck off. To even say I'm still waking up from this nightmare. You've known this man for what, maybe a month? I've known him for almost a decade. I've known him since 2018. Like, go fuck yourself. And then she says, I just saw your comment saying I'll stay with him. I've been single for almost 2 years for a reason. My tolerance is extremely low. Is it? Is your tolerance low? Not low enough, apparently. She tells me that she wishes the best for me, whatever. I tell her, you know, I'm sorry for coming at you, girl. Like, I genuinely thought you knew, like, wish you the best, right? I had already posted my story times. So, like, we're literally texting as those, like, it's a day after those have already been posted. I wouldn't be posting another shit if you weren't being a bitch. If you weren't getting online and saying that, number one, I hate myself. Not true. Number two, that I called you a slut and ugly. Number one, never called you a slut and never called you ugly. I don't think anybody's ugly. I think beauty is subjective. I think everybody is entitled to their own opinion about who they find attractive. I never said that. But since you decided to get online and say that, I'm done being the bigger person. I genuinely don't care. Anyway, she then told me that she's been she texted me again, okay? He had texted me saying, delete those fucking videos, and that I'm attacking a random girl. She's not random. And that it's so unfair to her, and that I'm just being a horrible fucking person, right? Okay. I took down the videos for like a day, and then I realized, bitch, fuck off. Like, this is my social media. Don't know if you guys know that, but this is my social media. Okay. Anyway, she then texts me again, and she's like, hey, like a train wreck, I keep going back to look at your comments on your TikTok. I really don't know how to explain how I didn't know. Okay. And then she said, honestly, the last two people I was with came out to me as gay, so I was trying to figure that out. It's not my job to investigate partners like they're the worst people. I trust people up front and let me show them their true colors. Okay, you guys are, okay, like, no, because you both are together. You guys are together. So you're a liar. And also, I went back and I looked at the dates on the Spotify because I looked at everything yesterday because I was like, fuck off. I looked at it yesterday, and the playlist that you bitches made on Valentine's Day, he was cheating on me with you on Valentine's Day. You don't feel bad about that? You don't feel bad for doing that? You don't feel bad for being with someone who is capable of hurting somebody like that? You're cool with that? Your standards are that low? Talking about how I hate myself. Bitch, look in the mirror. Like, genuinely, fuck off. Anyway, she says that I doxed her. Never doxed you, ho. All I did was, I said that you lived in Seattle. Lots of people live in Seattle, so you'll be fine. She said, I've kept an open line of communication with you after being doxed and DM'd all day just to continue to see you participating in further speculation and let people still believe I was in your apartment and I wasn't. And as for not wanting to have a bad social media rep, I really don't care. I don't even know how to feel about it other than angry. Then, of course, I'm being blamed for a man's actions. A man's actions that you are instigating. You're cool Like, oh my god, no, 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 no! Bitch, you got me so fucked up. You think that you're being blamed for a man's actions? No, babe, I'm blaming you for your actions. Because why are you lying to me, telling me on here, you're lying and telling me that you didn't know, number one, and then you're telling me, you're like helping me speculate who could have been in my house. Like, you're texting me being like, well, was the coworker's name Leah? Like, who did you think it was? You texted me and said, I'm not asking you to take down the videos, only to stop engaging in the narrative. Bitch, no. Then she says, I really do wish you healing and peace. This isn't comical. It's something so horrific that should have never happened to you. I'm sorry that I fell for it too. If I could take the last month back, of course I would. Month? I thought you guys started talking in February. A month would be January. Okay. So you start talking in January. Okay. Then you say, just curious. Was the coworker's name Leah? I say, I knew he has a coworker Leah because this motherfucker has playlists with multiple women. So I figured maybe it was this bitch Leah. And then she says, no, she's engaged to someone. How do you know that? Then she does say that there was this one, Harrison, fuck you for this, for never telling me this, number one. She said that your girl, told me that when we were together, you told her about how you shared a room with Leah and she slept on the other queen bed, and Miss Bree said, weren't you with your girlfriend then? Present tense, girlfriend. You mean ex? Like, why would you say girlfriend? And then I guess he said, yeah, but I wasn't even thinking like that, and our coworker needed her hotel room, blah, 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 and that nothing happened. And I literally asked if he had told you, and he said probably not, because you wouldn't have been okay with that. And then he said he didn't remember if he told you because it was so long ago. So long ago, huh? Then I asked her, what did he tell you? Because I'm stupid. I thought that she didn't know. I said, he told you we broke up in October. What was the reason? He said that he thought I was cheating. Right. That I was cheating. Bitch! You're going to hell. There's no way. Okay, I'm almost done talking about this, but she texted me again. The bitch that he cheated on me with texted me again. Mind you, they're still together. Right now, they are together. And she's trying to act online. She's posting, I'll put the picture here. Since we wanna be public about shit, let's be public. Like, you don't mind, right? You don't mind throwing disses. I don't mind throwing disses. I'm very, confrontational. I do not give a fuck. She posted some shit about how, I'm a fan, right? Yet, I haven't looked at your shit in weeks, and the only reason I knew is because a friend told me. And the reason you're mad is because you're going through my reposts and taking them personally. Anyway, in her comments, her friends or whoever the fuck are commenting, jealousy's a disease, bitch. Okay. And then someone said, what'd they say? You are the blueprint for what? A side bitch? That's all you are. You are a side bitch turned to the main. I promise you. Also, he's unblocking me on shit. So I'd keep your man on a leash. Because I normally don't get this mad. I wasn't mad at her at all. I genuinely thought that she didn't know, and I felt so fucking bad that I was bashing her in my story times. Now that I know that you did know and you kept all your playlists, you followed him on everything. Oh, hold on. She then texts me again, saying, I'm trying really hard not to engage with this situation or you for the sake of my mental health. Okay. As this situation has been extremely stressful and frustrating, but to see that you've blocked me, just so you can repost my information for views is disheartening. Your information? You mean your public fucking username? Number one, change your username. Number two, if you get a bad fucking comment, you can do this. Did you see how I did that? I turned it off. Yeah, I get bad comments all the fucking time. Fuck off. And then she says, can you explain to me what makes this okay? I want nothing to do with this situation. Okay, 3, 2, 1, who's your boyfriend? 3, 2, 1. And then she says, and to blast me all over the internet so you can feed these delusional people who are invested in finding me and sending me threats is uncalled for and not proof that you're doing this process. Bitch, go fuck yourself. Can you explain to me why my information needs to be up? Because you're a bad person. And he's a bad person too, bitch. His information is up too. I'll put his information here. He has me blocked on Instagram, so I can't even see I can't see his shit. Because the only reason I saw That picture was because somebody posted it in my comments. So guys, please don't do that. That's the only reason that I knew that you guys were still together. And to find that you're still with him, bitch, no, because you said that you had more self-respect than that. You said that you were in a relationship for 8 years and, you know, like being single is the best thing to do after situations like this. And, you know. Anyway, she says, I didn't know. I want nothing to do with this situation. And you've put me in a position where I'm constantly forced to be a part of it. 3, 2, 1, who's your boyfriend? Okay, that's how you're a part of it, bitch. Sorry, I'm using the word bitch a lot. It's just kind of like in my vocabulary. Don't take it personally, okay? Or do. I don't know. I'll repost a video with the word bitch in it, and then you can look at it and take it personally like you did with slut. Anyway, she says, you carelessly posted my information once without even talking to me. I did try to talk to you. I messaged you. And then she says, and I let it slide. She let it slide. Guys, she let it slide. I'm good. I'm off the hook. She let it slide. Because I understand what you're going through is difficult. But now, I see what your true intentions are. I ask you so very, very kindly to take my information down again. Number 1, your information's staying up, ho. I don't give a fuck. And don't try to say it's doxing, because it's not. Doxing is giving someone a very specific phone number or address to have someone harass them. Your social media, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. That's just social media. And I texted you, I said, I'm confused by your message because you still follow him on every single social media platform. I forgot to screenshot it though, because I'm an idiot. Oh, those are my dumplings. But because I'm an idiot and I didn't screenshot it. And then I was in the bath when I sent that message, and then I go back. Number 1, blocked me on Instagram. Number 2, deleted all of our messages so it looked like I was talking to myself. Bitch, you want to tell me you're innocent? Okay, then I'm not done. Like, I have things to say. I'm not done. Number 1, I posted those videos. I'm guessing you and him were talking, obviously. He texted me, hey, okay, I'm not going to put his phone number in here because that is doxing. Fun fact for you two bitches, that is doxing. So I won't put your number in. But he texted and said, hey, I was told you have a bunch of videos throwing hate at Brianna. Mind you, he called me Anna, and your name is Brianna. What's that remind me of? That one song by Olivia Rodrigo? Do you get deja vu? Yeah. Okay. When she hasn't done anything wrong. Okay. To publicly air things out and throw a hate train at her is completely unfair. I never told people to go talk shit on her. I don't think people should. I think people should not be doing that. I think it's weird to go message people you don't know. But I also am not in control of what other people do on their own cellular devices. Like, they pay their phone bills. They can do whatever they want. He tells me, so get off this weird influencer high horse and respect her privacy and delete those videos showing her and her friends and family. Number 1, never showed her, her friends, or her family. I just did in my most recent when she's throwing shade at me. So fuck you. You guys getting mad at me for reacting to how you two bad fucking people were treating me. You cheated. Okay, Harrison, if you're watching this, you cheated on me. Yeah, you cheated on me. And you thought that, like, you were going to be able to live your life peacefully and not, like, deal with consequences. Like, I don't understand where your fucking thought process is. And you didn't care about our cats. You didn't even ask to say goodbye to them. Number 1. Which is so, like, you don't have a heart. You didn't say goodbye. You didn't say goodbye to Gilbert. You didn't say goodbye to Bonnie. I had to fucking drop them off by myself and have to deal with that whole situation. I had to go through our whole fucking apartment to move all of my shit out after you had a bitch's makeup on our bed, had my pictures hidden in the closet, had my purse hidden in the closet, had the photo album that you got me for Christmas that you said that you wanted to be our photo album for when we have kids in the closet. You hid every fucking evidence of me in the closet, fucked someone in our bed, took the condoms, and then went and fucked another girl. And you want to tell me that I'm a bad person for telling both of you to go fuck yourselves? Right, okay. Sorry, I get really heated about my fucking cats because I miss them. Anyway, he says that I'm weird. And I say, oh, hey, mister, we broke up in October. Lose my number, you lying, cheating loser. Didn't show her friends and family, so go fuck yourself. And then he said, get a grip. Your problem was with me. And I said, maybe next time just be honest with the women you're involved with. Mind you, I still think that they're not together. They're currently together. Telling me to get a grip is pretty rich considering the shit you thought you were getting away with. And if you think I'm lying, fuck off. I'm not. Like, I got my fucking iPad out. Like, you ain't getting nothing past me. He then tells me, you got your get back. We're not talking anymore. But she's still getting comments and follow requests and all this stuff. It is completely unfair to her to leave. And, oh my God, it is completely unfair to her. Leave her out of this and take those fucking videos down. Wouldn't you want me to be getting all the negative attention? Why didn't you put me on blast? I'm gonna put you on blast right now, Mr. iPhone 13. Shut your fucking mouth, iPhone 13. Yeah, shut your fucking mouth. You are such a bad person and you were a bad boyfriend. Me having to beg you to be nice to me, that makes you a bad fucking boyfriend. Me having to beg you to pay attention to me when I fucking talk, that makes you a bad fucking person. A bad boyfriend. And like, I don't care if you get upset with the videos I'm posting. I genuinely don't give a fuck. And then you told me that I'm doxing her and that this is grounds for more than just petty breakup drama. I hope you know that. What are you guys gonna do? Sue me? Sue me. And I'll sue you for fucking emotional damage and the bullshit that I had to fucking deal with this past... Bitch, today marks... Actually, that's crazy. Today is 2 months exactly since we broke up. We broke up February 16th. I didn't find all this stuff out. I found this stuff out week by week after. So yeah, I'm still yapping about it. Yeah, I'm still talking about it. I don't give a fuck. Guess what? It happened to me. And I'm going to talk about whatever I want on my TikTok. That's what I'm going to do. Okay? I hate saying that you were a bad boyfriend and that you're a bad person because it hurts to say that because I did love you so much and I do have so much love for you. But the fucking person that you are being is insane and I don't want anything to do with you. Like, genuinely, like, I don't know who you are and I don't want to know who you are. Keep me blocked on shit. I don't care. Anyway, the last thing he said to me was, okay, I appreciate you taking down information pertaining to her identity. Bitch. That's me. Okay, this is going to be my last video because it's getting out of hand. I just keep getting more and more upset about the situation. I just genuinely want to say, yes, I'm going to name drop Brianna. Don't be posting shit about me that you don't want me to see because I'm going to react to it. Number one, never called you a slut, never called you a bitch, or I have called you a bitch. Sorry. I never called you ugly. I never said those things. I don't think you're ugly, actually. But the person that you are on the inside radiates so badly to the outside. That's what makes you fucking ugly. So yes, I will call you ugly. Because look at how you're acting. You're with a guy that cheated on his girlfriend. And I'm not saying that it's the girl's fault. I'm not saying it's your fault. What is your fault is your actions after finding out that. I've already dissed Harrison. I've already told him that he's a lying, cheating piece of shit, just like his dad, and how he deserves nothing, and about how one day I hope his kids hate him the way that he hates his dad, and like bullshit like that. I've already done what I need to do to him, but your bitch ass better stop fucking pushing. You better stop posting about me, bitch. I'm about to actually pull up. Like, I love Seattle. I grew up in Seattle, so I actually don't mind. Seattle, I love it there. I hope you are having a great time there. I love it there. I love the summers there. And I hope he's having a good time there because I know he's going there. And his bum ass is probably going to figure out a way to move in with you because he doesn't know how to be alone. That's literally what he said to me on the phone when he broke up with me. I don't know how to be alone. I'm scared to be alone. But then telling me that he wants to be alone and all this other bullshit. But meanwhile, he just wanted to get in your pants and you fucking fell for it and you're stupid. And I'm only calling you stupid because of the way that you're acting after I've told you everything. It is different if you didn't know. And if you didn't know and then you actually cut him off, and if you didn't know and then it's almost worse you not knowing and then figuring everything out and then still being with him. You both are embarrassing. Do not look at my page anymore because you're gonna be offended. This is the last time I'm gonna post anything like this on my TikTok because, or maybe not, actually, it's my social media, so I'll post what I want. But don't be going through my reposts if you're gonna get offended. I don't know what to tell you. They're my reposts. It's my TikTok. It's my life. I'm in nursing. I'm in school. I have to fucking figure everything out. So I don't have a stable home right now. I have so much shit going on because of that man that you're fucking, that you're cool with fucking, Mr. 4.5 incher. You're cool with that, but you're mad at me for reposting a video about you being a slut, which I've never directly called you that, but I'll do it now. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I'm done. I'm done with my stylist. I'm done with my iPad. Thank you to anyone who watched. It is snowing right now. It is mid-April in Idaho, and it is fucking snowing. But basically, fuck you both. Leave me alone. Don't be posting about me, because my friends are checking your shit, apparently. I'm not, because I'm not your fan, babe. I'm not a fan. Don't be looking at my stuff. Don't be talking to me. Don't message me. If you see any of this stuff, take it and leave it. I don't care. Don't message me to take shit down because I'm not taking it down. Harrison, if you see this, fuck you. If Harrison's girl sees this, also fuck you. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
So basically, you have to be blonde and rich to be famous or get famous on this app.
I was asked if I could share a little bit of my story of being trafficked. I'm not going to share everything. I'm just going to share how I got trafficked. I was living with my ex downtown in my city. We lived with roommates, and these roommates were his friends. And his friend dabbled in some things, and so he requested to not bring anyone in the apartment without him knowing. And he also had cameras in the apartment, so he knew what was going on either way. Anyway, one night, me and my ex were down in this one block, a few ways from the apartment, and there's like a little food corner store. So we were walking out of the store, a man was walking into the store, and my ex kind of stopped him and started talking to him and told him, hey, we live over there. We're trying to make a business deal with him. We were using substances and had substances, so he was trying to do that. So my ex brings this man to the apartment, and this man took a liking to me. He was very flirty and charming, that whole spiel. At that time in me and my ex's relationship, it wasn't good. We were fighting, he was cheating, etc. So I noticed this other man's attention he was giving me. So I kind of trusted him. It opened up a little door of trust and comfortability, if you could say that. A few days later, it's my ex's birthday. We celebrate, whatever. That night, we get in a fight. He kicks me out. I leave, and down the street from our apartment, there was like this little park complex, and I sat there on one of the benches, and the guy that came in the apartment came up to me and was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? I told him the situation, and he was like, oh, well, you know, it's his loss, you know, I'll take care of you, just come with me, I'll keep you safe, like, don't worry, I'll take care of you, like, just acted like he cared, and he was gonna be there for me. So, me being super vulnerable and heartbroken and not in my right mind, I agreed and went with him. He never took me to an apartment. He just took me into this park. And I needed to charge my phone. And I remember he had given me crack cocaine. And I tried that. And that's when everything started. It kind of started subtly one day. Honestly, I don't even want to say suddenly, because now I'm thinking about it, and it happened very quickly. One day he waved me over, and there was a car, and he said, you're gonna go there with them. I was very confused, didn't know what he meant. Got in the car, and obviously one thing led to another, and I was assaulted. He had told me, the guy in the car had told me that he had already paid for me, that he had already paid the man. So I had to do, therefore, what he wanted, because he paid for this time. I'd caused a lot of problems for him in the park. I wouldn't listen. There was another person in the park as well that would talk to me and would try to kind of, I thought, in my opinion, would try to get me away from the situation. He'd always talk to me and tell me, you know, he wishes he could get me out of this situation, blah, blah, blah. And there was a whole situation with that. But one night, the man came up to me and said, you're causing too many issues for me. You're gonna go to my grandfather. I just sold you to him. He was very confused. His grandfather took me by the hand and walked me to his apartment. And I didn't find this out till later. His apartment was only like 5 minutes away from the park that I was at. But he took me a weird way to the point where I kind of got it all scrambled up in my head and didn't know where I was. And considering I was on a bunch of substances that they were giving me at the time. I was with his grandfather for maybe like 4 days. And through those 4 days, my ex and my family were looking for me. My mother ended up telling me later on that when they went to the police station and filed for a missing report, my ex was very apologetic and was saying, "It's my fault, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." And when I was in the park one night, I remember seeing my ex and my family walking all around looking for me. I couldn't go up to them or say anything, but I did see one night that my ex was talking with the man that was trafficking me. So take that for what you want. I've talked to therapists since the situation, and they have told me that they believe that my ex had some sort of involvement with this. Yeah, so I was with his grandfather for 4 days. I ended up getting out of that situation and was put in another really dangerous situation. And then after that, I was quickly found. And even being found was a very weird way as well. But that was about 2 years ago now, coming up, I believe, too. I've been safe ever since. Yeah, so that's just a little bit in piece of what trafficking looks like. Powerful people preying on vulnerable, less fortunate people. At that time, I was very less fortunate. I was homeless. I was addicted to drugs. I didn't have a place to go. I was very much backed into a corner. So, and things happened very quickly, especially being on substances and not knowing what's going on half of the time or what world you're in. It's very confusing and very terrifying, and just a recipe for ways to be taken advantage of. So, yeah.
Guess what, guys? I'm a virgin again.
No, you're not.
It's the new year. Doesn't it reset? No? Guess I'm a whore.
I just had a terrible interaction at the gym tonight. I was doing hanging leg raises, and this guy came up to me, like maybe a foot away from me, and he was like, "Hey, how are you?" And I didn't respond because I was in the middle of my set. Then when I finished, I was just hanging there. I was like, "Good, how are you?" He's like, "Good, how's your workout going?" And I was like, immediately my spidey senses were tingling. I was like, something's weird. Anyway, he asked me how my workout is going, and I was like, well, it was good. He was like, cool, yeah, I just got here. I just got off work. He's like talking to me like we've known each other. I don't know who he is. I've never seen him before in my life. I was like, okay, I don't really like being bothered when I'm working out, so you can leave me alone. He was like, whoa, like I'm just trying to work on my conversation skills. I was like, cool, you can go work on that with somebody else. He was like, well, I see a beautiful woman and I think it's a perfect opportunity. And I was like, not with me. Then I get down. He goes, okay. I'm like, yeah, okay, go away. So he's just smiling at me really weird. Just a weird smile. He's asking me these weird questions, was like, are you from here? I'm not answering any of these questions. Never tell anybody anything about yourself, ever. He's asking me, like, am I from here? What kind of car I drive? Where I work? Ignoring him. Smiling at me. Weird. Then he goes behind me. There's a mirror in front of me, so I see him go behind me, and he gets a mat maybe, like, 2 feet away from me. Right behind me. Lays down and then starts doing sit-ups. He's making the most grotesque noises I've ever heard. I've been in the gym a long time. I've never heard anybody make noises like that. So immediately I was like, really? Then I go over to the ellipticals. Where does he go? To the ellipticals. The thing is, though, there's 3 of them. There's one over here, there's one right here, there's one right here. I'm on the one right here. The one that's in the middle is broken. It moves, but like the screen is off, it doesn't work, and there's no resistance, so it's broken. He gets on that one. I have my headphones on, I'm watching a Papa Meat video. He gets on there and he's like leaning over, watching my video, I guess. Couldn't really tell, but he was leaning over. It seemed like he was watching my video. And I'm just doing my thing. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let this affect my workout. Okay, we're not going to have a big old scene. So I finished my workout on the elliptical. 10, 15 minutes at least, this guy's on this thing, just like moving, doing nothing, because the thing doesn't work. I take my headphone off when I'm getting off, and I'm like, what are you doing? You know that's broken. He was like, it is? That's weird. And I was like, yeah, that's weird that you're on that. Then I got off and I go back to stretch and I see him go to the front door. I'm like, oh great, he's leaving. No, he sits at the table that's right by the front door. And you can't, like, if you leave, you can't avoid him because he's right there. So I was like, great, he's lingering. He's gonna wait for me to leave. And I know this because this has happened to me a handful of times. I'm sure it's happened to plenty of other women at the gym also. Super fun. But he's just lingering, just waiting. And after I finish, I'm like, okay, well, it's time for me to leave. So I'm gonna leave. I go up to the door and I'm like, please don't say something to me because we're gonna have a problem. And he goes, bye, Kaylee. Hope you have a good night. I didn't tell him my name. And I just left. So I was so perturbed, I had to listen to Ocean Man by Ween to get me out of that.